Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another reading vlog where I'm gonna be reading romance books. So I want to start by saying that I am not a romance reader. I don't enjoy romance. So just, don't take any of my comments, of my thoughts, of my reviews into consideration of like whether to read or not read these books because I am not like the target audience for any of them, but every year, once a year, I do like a video reading romance, like on Valentine's Day week. And this year, my romance reader friend chose the books for me because the other 2 years I just, picked books that were like popular. And this year she chose 4 books for me to read. And mostly she just wants me to suffer reading romance, especially like it wasn't the first one she chose, but like the one that I'm gonna be reading first. Like she chose that one specifically for me to suffer. But there is one or like two that she's actually hoping that I like, and well, we'll see about that. And basically, if you also want to see me suffer, stick around, I guess, and let's get into it. Okay, so I am 50% into the first book, which is When Beauty Tamed the Beast, and I started with this one because it's the one I expected to dislike the most or like the least, because not only is it romance, it's also historical, and those are two genres that I typically don't enjoy, so this was definitely the one I was the least excited for. And so, I'm kind of like starting with what I think is the worst and leaving what I think is the best for last. Not like objectively the best and the worst, obviously, but like in terms of my enjoyment. But anyway, I am 50% in, and we are following Lynette, and Lynette, because it's not like TTE at the end, it's just a T. So it's like Lynette. Either way, we're following her, and everyone in her town seems to think that she's pregnant because she was caught, like, I was gonna say making out, but I think they kissed, like just a kiss, and with like Prince, and then she wore a dress that made her look like she was pregnant, and so everyone thinks that she's pregnant, including her father, and so he decided to marry her off to a like rich guy who is a doctor, and he cannot have children of his own, so since she's pregnant, and they can just like pretend that it's his kid, so she's gonna marry that guy. And that guy is called Pierce, and we're also following him. I think we have like a chapter of her, and then like a chapter from his POV, and then from hers, and then from his, I think. And like I said, he's a doctor, and she's taken to his house with one of her maids, and she's there, they get to know each other, and they both decide that neither of them actually wants to marry, because he looks at her and he's like, "You're not pregnant," and she's like, "No, I'm not." So they decide that they don't actually want to get married, but like, she stays there anyway, and we get to see like a couple of his patients, and they have like flirted a bit, and yeah, that's it pretty much. That's where I'm at, and I can't say I'm like hating it, but I can't also say that I'm enjoying it. I'm honestly like, I'm not feeling anything towards it, which is also not good. Like, I would almost rather be hating it just so I could feel something. And yeah, I'm kind of just bored because there is no other plot happening like aside from the romance. And I obviously don't care about the romance. So yeah, honestly, I am just feeling bored. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's just one thing that like I connect to the main character with, and it's the fact that like she doesn't want to go out in the sun because her freckles will like pop up. And I found that very relatable because I hate my freckles with a burning passion. So At least I related to the main character in something. But yeah, there's like not much for me to say because, like I said, I'm not feeling anything. There's nothing even like anything hateful that I can say like in a funny way because I'm just not feeling anything. But there's still 50% to go, so it can either get better or get worse. But either way, I'm hoping I feel something. Whether it's love, whether it's hate, I hope there's something. Okay, so I have finished the book, and remember when I said that I wasn't hating it? Well, that changed, and sadly, that changed during a sex scene because, like, everything that the guy said during that sex scene was so, like, ew. Like, I hated everything that he said, and, like, literally every single word, every single sentence that he said, I was just like, please make this stop. And like, sex scenes are supposed to be fun. Sometimes for me, they're the only fun thing in a romance book because I don't care about the feelings. So that was really sad and it just gave me the ick. And once I get the ick, like, it's over. Like, every single interaction between the characters after that, I was just disgusted by. And also, like, another thing that really gives me the ick is when people say, like, make love. Like, I hate that. I hate that. And that is the only way that the characters ever referred to sex, was saying make love. So I also hated that. And yeah, like I said before, there was really nothing other than the romance happening to keep me interested. So I was just, like, in the first half, I was bored. But now, other than being bored, I was also hating like every single interaction between the characters. And yeah, I did not have a good time. I can't say that I hated with a burning passion like I hated the Spanish Love Deception last year. Like, that, it's not on that level, like not even close to that level. But I did not enjoy it. I did not have a good time. And yeah, it was just really not my thing. Like, I was not expecting it to be. But I was actually like surprised until we got to halfway that I was just like not liking it, obviously, but also like not hating it. But yeah, it was just really not my type of book. And I am giving it 2 stars. And now it's time to go into our next book, which is called Leo Loves Aries, I think. And do I have like the highest of hopes? No. Do I have higher hopes than I had for the first book? Yes. Okay, so I am 50% into my second book, which is Leo Loves Aries. And we are following Theo, and he is in college and he lives with his twin sister, Leonie, and their like respective boyfriend and girlfriend broke up with them and then started dating each other, which like sounds like the worst nightmare. That sounds like such a horrible thing. And they're gonna get married. And so Leonie and Theo both want to like take a date to the wedding to, show that they are over them. Even though at the beginning of the book they are definitely not over them. But basically, apart from that, they're also looking for a new roommate for like to share the house with them. And also Theo is trying to get back like a tutor that he had in a previous semester. And when he's talking to that tutor also needs like he's looking for a place to stay. And so he stays at their place. He's a new roommate. And basically Theo is trying to set that guy up. That guy's called Jamie. He's trying to set Jamie up with Leonie so he'll be her date for the wedding. But Obviously, he's gonna be the one that ends up falling for Jamie, and obviously, like, it's obvious, like, from almost the beginning, from like their first interactions, we see that Jamie already likes him. You know, it's obvious to everyone except Theo. It's always like that, and honestly, that kind of annoys me. But anyway, they are like, their zodiac sign is Leo, of Theo and Leonie, and also the fact that they're Leos and they're called Leonie and Theo, I cannot get over that. And also their mom tells them that since they're Leos, they should be looking for an Aries, or like for two Arieses. I have no idea how do you say the plural of Aries. Is it still Aries? Anyway, they should be looking for Aries. And guess who's an Aries? Obviously, Jamie. And, you know, the characters in this book are definitely like funnier than the characters in the previous book. They are definitely more entertaining, and like the banter and flirting between the characters is also much more like fun and entertaining than from the previous book. So like I'm enjoying it more, but at the same time, I'm still bored because there's still no other plot, like other side plots or anything other than the romance. And once again, I don't care about, you know, their romance, their connection, their feelings. I just don't care. I mean, I don't like dislike them together, but I just don't care. So there's that, but I'm definitely not hating it. I did say this at like the 50% mark of the other book, and then I ended up really not liking it. But I have higher hopes for this one because like the flirting of the other characters in like the first half was already like not my thing, and this one is like a much better in that regard, and I mean every regard. But yeah, like I'm not hating it, but I'm also not like, you know, having fun. I'm still just bored, but you know, it's okay. And so I'm gonna finish it and let you know how that goes. Okay, so I finished Leo Loves Aries, and I don't really have a lot to say because I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. And honestly, I just don't really have any feelings towards it. And my thoughts are pretty much the same as they were in the first half of the book. Like the characters were fun, and the like their banter and flirting was fun-ish. And in this one, the sex scenes were actually fun as well. Not like the other book that no, just no. And yeah, like that was okay. It was fun-ish, but I didn't really care about the romance, and that's, you know, what this book was all about. So once again, I was just bored because there was like no other plot, you know, another subplot apart from the romance. And yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it. Definitely didn't hate it. But also there were like no moments that I was like, you know, loving it. So I think I'm gonna give it 2.5 stars, which is like right in the middle. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. It was just like in the middle. Although it's like 2.5 stars, they are closer to 3 than to 2. So like I guess on Goodreads I'll, you know, rate it 3 stars. And like technically I guess it would be like 2.75. But I'm gonna go with 2.5. And now we are gonna get into the books that are, I mean, they're obviously romance, but they are like fantasy-ish as well. So there is, you know, something else going on, and I love fantasy, so I am more likely to like them, or at least I hope so. And so the next one is gonna be Pestilence, and I don't know if I mentioned, like I remember my friend, like when she read this, talking about this book, so, like I know what it is about. I know like what I'm going into. I also remember like the beginning because she, you know, told me when she was reading. So that sounds very fun. And yeah, I will read half of that book and I'll get back to you. Okay, so I am 50% into pestilence, and basically in this world, in this book, the four horsemen of the apocalypse have come to Earth, and like they came, the four of them, but then they vanished for 5 years, and now one of them returned, and that one is pestilence. And basically he is obviously like bringing, you know, a plague and killing people. Like wherever he passes, he just kills people with that plague. And our main character, main female character, Sarah, she stays behind on her hometown after everyone evacuates because she is gonna kill pestilence. And so she tries to kill him, and like the way she tried to kill him was so like painful to imagine. And like it was so funny because like her shock when she realized that he can't die, and even funnier, her shock when she realized that she wasn't the first person who ever tried to kill him. Like somehow she didn't think that anyone else in the world would ever even like think about trying to kill the being that is destroying the world. You know what I mean? Like, who does she think she is? She thinks she's some kind of genius because she thought of killing, you know, the person who's killing everyone else. Like, what the fuck? But anyway, he decides to keep her alive and take her with him as he travels and kills people to basically punish her. And we see them go through some towns and, you know, him bringing his plague and killing people, and her watching and suffering, and eventually they're, you know, start falling for each other. Don't know why or how, but romance book, you know, and that's what's happening. I couldn't care less about the romance, but I am like interested in the plot of like the horsemen because I'm like intrigued about, you know, their existence and them, and like in this case pestilence specifically. So like there is another plot other than the romance to keep me interested. And I mean that plot is like death and destruction, and I mean that's great. That's so great. And yeah, I also, pestilence is really funny. I laughed out loud once because he's so fucking funny. Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it more than the other two, which isn't saying much. I mean, the romance itself I'm not enjoying more than the other two, but the book as a whole I am enjoying more than the other two a little bit. I'll take my victories any way I can get them, you know? So yeah, that's what's happening. So yeah, I am gonna finish that book. Okay, so I actually, you know, had high-ish expectations. Not high as in like 5 stars, but high as in like 3.5, 3 stars for this book because I mean, Pestilence was super funny, and you know, I was hoping to learn more about him and just the horsemen in general, and maybe I would if I continue with the series, like probably I would, but I'm definitely not gonna continue with the series, so there's that. And I just, like, there was not enough of other things happening, like, other than the romance to keep me interested, and I really thought there would be, but especially in the second half, it was, like, so much just romance, and I didn't like it. I did not like the romance at all. Because like I don't get what like she sees in him, and I don't get what he sees in her. Like I don't get it at all. Didn't like it. Did not work for me. And because like in the previous one, I didn't care about it, but I didn't dislike it, and like I could see like what they saw in each other. And in this one, I just really don't. And I mean, it didn't like give me the ick like the one from the first book, except when they were like saying like make love, because I hate that. But overall, it didn't give me the ick, but I really didn't like it either. I think I'm gonna give it like the same rating as I gave the one before because I like the romance less, but there was like something other than romance, especially in the first half, that I liked more than in the previous one. Does that make sense? So yeah, I think I'm gonna also give this one 2.5 stars. And now we are moving on to our fourth and final book, which is the one that I'm like the most excited about, the one that I think I might actually enjoy, and that is Wolfsong. And I've read one book from this author, and it wasn't romance. I mean, there was a romance in there that I didn't really care about, but like it wasn't really the main focus of the book, and I really love that book. And so I definitely have like the highest expectations for this one, and so I'm gonna get halfway through that and get back to you. Okay, so I am 51% into Wolfsong, and this was the one I had the highest expectations for, and it's definitely the one that I'm enjoying the most. And so basically we are following a boy named Ox, and we start following him when he is 12, I'm pretty sure. And basically the book starts off when his dad leaves him and his mom, and he actually starts working for the guy that his dad worked for. And then we see like a few years go by, I think he is 16, somewhere around that, when a family like moves back into their town. And that family has a secret. They are werewolves. And Ox gets close to the youngest boy of that family, who is called Joe. And then a few more years go by. I think Ox is now 23. And there is like a guy, a werewolf, that comes to their town and just, you know, brings death and destruction and just ruins all of their lives. And like that is pretty much where we're at. And I love Ox so much, and I'm just so invested in his story, and I'm really liking the like plot, because you know there is a plot other than the romance. The romance is like there, but it's not the only thing there, you know what I mean? And so in terms of the romance itself, I don't care about it, but I definitely don't dislike it. And I mean that's already a win, I would say. And like I said, it is there. Like I wish there was a little less focus on the romance, but also like I get why the romance is important for this book. And like I said, I am not disliking it. I'm really invested in the other plot that's happening. And I really care about Ox. And honestly, I feel like he might be the only character that I really like care about, and the others, like I worry about them, but more in the sense of like if anything happened to them, it would make Ox sad, and I don't want that. But I definitely don't care about them as much as I care about Ox, because I love Ox so much. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm very happy about that. And I am gonna finish it, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, we finally have a winner. I really enjoyed this book, and like I said before, I really liked the main character, and I was definitely very interested in the plot, and like basically I was invested in what was happening the whole time, which is what I was missing on the other books, because I just didn't care about anything. And in this case, I was really invested in what was happening. What I loved the most in this book, I feel like, was the like found family, and like it was so cute, and it just gave me like the warm fuzzy feelings, and I just loved it like so much. And in terms of the romance, I still like didn't really care about it, but I definitely did not dislike it. And at the same time, there was definitely enough going on, like other than the romance, to make it like not matter that much that, you know, it was a romance book. It didn't really lessen my enjoyment of the book, the fact that there was a romance going on, like being a big focus of the book, there was still enough going on besides the romance to keep me interested. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. There were a lot of moments that I was like shocked and I was like on the edge of my seat and I was, stressed. And yeah, I really liked it and I gave it 4 stars and I'm really glad that we finished on, a good note. And I actually did like the average star rating of the times that I made this video. And so for 2022, my average rating was 3 stars. Last year it was 2.75 and this year was also 2.75. And I guess that is just my average rating of romances. And overall, I can say that, I enjoyed these books. And I mean, filming the video was fun, but I can say that, I had a lot of fun actually reading the books, except for the last one. But I hope you had fun watching it. I hope my friend had fun watching it, because I mean, honestly, like, this is all for her. And I will definitely keep doing this. Maybe, who knows, one day I'll find a 5-star romance. I doubt it, but, anything's possible. And yeah, that is everything for this video. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you have enjoyed it. And if you did, give it a like and subscribe. And I will talk to you next time. Bye!